Lego minifigure habitats. Castle fans deserve better. I have made yet another minifigure habitat. This one is for Castle. If I slide my camera down to the previous minifigure habitats I built, you can see that I built this Lego Vintage Space Trilogy from CMF Series 27. I built one for Paradisa, so we covered town and we covered space. But I thought to myself, you know what? I need to get some pirates and castle into action. I was thinking about the Black Monarch's ghost, but I realized, you know what? It would be nice to get some yellow into the mix. And I thought about the yellow castle. And I thought about builds from the grey castle era. And I have this Lego Castle Knight from CMF Series 16. So bing bada boom bada bum, here we are, and let's talk about it. Hello, it's me, Mayo Hosko, coming to you at 60 frames per second in 4K resolution. No sugar, no filler, just real whole egg, and welcome to my channel. So what I always do when I go to design these habitats is I take a minifigure from a theme. I try to take minifigures from theme to build them for certain colours that I want. I thought about both castle and pirates with the colour yellow, because in 1989 when we got the pirates, the Imperial soldiers had a lot of yellow and white in their architecture for stuff like the El Dorado Fortress. The yellow castle era, which was classic castle from 1978 when the minifigure first came out to 1983, they had almost every wall in the Lego castle sets were yellow. So I thought that would be a perfect backdrop, have the inside of a yellow castle. The only parts of the backdrop for this mock that isn't yellow is the gaps in between the crenelles at the top where an archer would stand. So you have the gaps in between where they can shoot their arrows. The top of it is supposed to be the sky. I thought that was nice contrast, just to add a little bit more of a pop of color, get that blue sky that you see on some of the box art for the classic castle sets. Predominantly, the backdrop is all yellow, but the details for the yellow castle era are pretty barren, if not non-existent. That's where I came into inspiration with the grey castle era, which was sold from 1984 to 1992 with the Black Falcons and the Crusader Knights, which Lego retconned as Lion Knights, which really grinds my gears, but that's a whole topic for another video. I knew I didn't want to create a grey because that would be boring, so I went with the yellow because that's more alive. It would be boring just to have a bunch of yellow, even though the yellow pops. The yellow almost pops too much if it didn't have some contrasting colours. So I looked at the blacksmith's shop that came out in the mid-80s, which was made to complement the King's Castle from 1984. They also had a set for the battering ram and the siege tower, which also included pieces of castle walls that you could connect them all together with Technic pins. And inside that blacksmith had this really cool red furnace. And I thought that was really cool. It added a nice pop of colour. So I thought that would be the perfect plate. That would be the perfect detail for the inside of this wall. So you can see there is some depth behind the minifigure because I used that 1x6 by 2 arch piece to get the opening. The back of it is just straight up 1x6 bricks. And then I used a bunch of the 1x1 red 45-degree slopes to get the top of the furnace, and that eventually gets to the top where you see stacks of these black 1x1 round plates to look like the chimneys of the furnace. And then you got a very bare bones armory holding thing, because if I take the minifigure out, you can see it's a similar build to some of the weapons racks that you see in Lego castle sets, but instead I put stuff that the blacksmith might have crafted, so you can see what is supposed to be, I'm not sure what that's thing on the left could be. You can use your imagination. Let me know in the comments down below what you think it might be. But you can see a goblet, a frying pan, and a sword. And so I could imagine, and I just misplaced the shield in the hands of this figure, but I could imagine that this knight is here right now to come and collect his sword to go out into battle. So there's a whole bunch of imagination I could do. Well, you could see with all of this, but this is going to be a nice addition to my lineup of Lego minifigure habitats, and I have reordered these to be how they would be in chronological order. So the yellow castle and the grey castle era came out before M-Tron in 1990, so that's going to go at the left. So this is, I'm going to call this 1978 to 1984. Then you got M-Tron of 1990, Blacktron 2 of 1991, Paradisa, which was a sub-theme of Lego Town in 1992, and Ice Planet from 1993. So there it is all together, and I think it looks nice together. The reason why Lego Castle fans deserve better is because we need more smaller sets that aren't locked behind Lego Ideas or Lego Bricklink Designer Program or anniversaries of things. We need to bring back the castle theme. We need more affordable castle options. There was people who defend the new castle stuff we get, and that's fine, they have their point. But there's no reason why we can't have both at the same time. There's no reason we can't have expert level castle stuff and entry level castle stuff. That's why Lego Creator Expert existed alongside Creator 3-in-1. We need to do the same for Lego Castle. Thank you for watching this video. It is appreciated. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Tell me in the comments down below which theme or sub-theme you want to see me make as a Lego minifigure habitat next. I'm going to keep making weekly mocks of these because I want to grow my army of minifigure habitats. So if you have any ideas of what minifigures you want me to do them around, let me know in the comments down below. This will be going once again in my Lego minifigure habitats and my vintage Lego playlists, and I will see you in the next video.